We are following breaking news out of the Middle East. Israeli forces have carried out airstrikes this morning in Syria, including on the capital of Damascus. Israel says it has been forced to defend attacks on civilians. The Syrian government has been fighting a minority group called the Druze. They are an Arab sect based in southern Syria, as well as parts of Israel and Lebanon. The new conflict comes as Israel is already involved in active conflicts in Gaza and Yemen. For more on this, I'm joined by CBS News contributor Robert Berger, who's tracking developments for us from Jerusalem. So exactly what's going on here, Robert?
So on Damascus, including the defense ministry there, and there's ongoing airstrikes as we speak in the southern part of Israel, not that far from the Golan Heights. And Israel is intervening on behalf of the Druze Arabs. They are an offshoot of Islam in southern Syria, but there's also a very big Druze population here in Israel and in the Israeli part of the Golan Heights. And they've been pressuring the government to intervene on behalf of their brothers in Syria who, according to the Druze, are being massacred first by Bedouin forces and then by regime forces who came in. So the Israelis have intervened on behalf of the Druze because of the Druze community here, but also because they're concerned that jihadist forces, as they see it, Syrian forces of the regime, could move closer to the Israeli border and then pose a direct threat to Israel.
So, as you know, Robert, in recent weeks, the IDF has been involved in conflicts, obviously, in Gaza, Iran, Lebanon, and Yemen. Does the country, the military, have the resources for another conflict on yet another front?
You know, it's a good point. Certainly the military has been worn down. The war has been going on for around 640 days. This fight, though, I don't see it really extending into a full-scale war. For one thing, Syria, the new regime in Syria, is not capable of doing that. Israel has already launched over the past several months hundreds of airstrikes in Syria. So what I'm hearing from Israeli military sources is that this could be something that lasts, 2 or 3 days in order to send a message to the new Syrian regime about the red lines that Israel has. One, to protect the Druze, and two, to prevent any kind of hostile forces from approaching the Israeli border.
And let's talk about the conflict specifically as it relates to Gaza. President Trump is set to meet with Qatari Prime Minister in Washington, the Qatari Prime Minister in Washington. That's happening today. Qatar has sort of played a middleman role in the effort to secure a ceasefire in the enclave. The President of the United States has so far been unable to get a ceasefire deal. What do we think the chances are after this meeting?
Well, this is certainly an important meeting. Prime Minister Netanyahu was in Washington last week and met twice with President Trump and came away empty-handed. That was something of a surprise. And now we see the Qatari leader coming there and talking directly to President Trump. They're still trying to get that 60-day ceasefire that would see the release of 10 Israeli hostages. But during that period, as well as the release of some Palestinian prisoners, the talks have been stuck over the redeployment of Israeli forces. President Trump continues to be optimistic, saying he thinks they can get a deal this week, but it's been elusive.
Yeah, indeed. All right, Robert Berger for us, reporting from Jerusalem. Thank you, Robert.